Welcome back to Property Play. I'm your host, Elena Saradidis, and today I have a very special guest with me. We brought back one of our team members, Val, to join me today. We're going to talk a little bit about how Val kind of ended up on the team and how we met.
So we met back in 2021. I just got into real estate 2020, and we met through your listing. You were on the listing side, and I had a buyer. And back then it was a crazy market. And I remember at the offer night, we had like 27. So it was quite busy times back then.
27 offers. Val was in the top, I think, 3 or 4. I called everyone back to improve. And Val somehow convinced me that I should work with her and not give the other agents the time of day. Who you work with matters, and their ability to connect with the listing agent matters because it will give you a leg up in the negotiation. And I remember thinking back, wow, she's good. She convinced me to want to work with her.
I know, and we didn't close that day, right?
We closed the day after. So that night, my clients looked at all the offers and they were like, none of these are at the level that I want. There's a shack in the Danforth selling for $1 million. How is my home not worth it? And we had to go over all the comps again. They slept on it. The next day we re-engaged with yourself and one other offer, and then you got the offer, and you were not the highest offer.
No, I wasn't the highest offer.
She was the most persistent. She was not the highest. But she had a clean offer, and the clients decided to go with the clean offer, so a firm offer, no conditions, at a lower price versus the offer that was higher that had a condition in it.
Yes, because what I did, I had reviewed the status certificate prior with another lawyer. So we knew, so I didn't have that as a condition. So we were a firm offer back then. Yes, everything was selling firm.
And then a couple years later, I left the company I was with, came to Royal LePage, started a team, and Val sends me a message being like, hey, you have a team?
Yeah, so since we met, then I started following, and I like everything you were posting, and all your listings were looking amazing. And then when you had a team, I was very intrigued and I wanted to work with you. So I gave you a call, and that's how it
happened. That's how Val moved over. Then fast forward to Val being on the team, and being on the team has like its own set of challenges. I make everyone come to the office. We do a lot of transactions in the downtown core, even though we are kind of spread out around the GTA as well. Val realized the drive to come downtown was a lot. So
it was.
Originally you started in Whitby.
Yes, I was in Whitby.
And then kind of go through the conversation of when you realized you need to move.
One of my girls, she got accepted University downtown, and then the youngest...
She's going to U of T, everybody.
And then the youngest one, she was grade 11, so it was one more year to finish her high school. And because she was she was seeing me coming home late, as she was saying, Mom, like, while we're staying here, you don't have to commute that much, right? So we can go back to where we used to live before renting in that area. So that was this was like a command to me. Like I said, okay, that's it. If you're fine, we're gonna do it. So then we put it our house for sale, and everything just went smoothly. And
she says smoothly. I'm gonna say what actually happened. Val puts the property up for sale, and we have a rule on the team. You cannot represent yourself on the sale of your home. We've seen it happen before. Buying and selling properties gets very emotional. And like when you are the seller and when you are an agent, you know how stressed your sellers get, and you kind of coach them through it. When you are the seller and an agent, there's no one to coach you through the fact that maybe you're being a little unreasonable. Maybe you need to take a breath. Maybe your house is not the best home in the world. Maybe X, Y, and Z isn't possible. So we've gone through this with other team members. They've all gone through the process of trying to sell their own home, it either not working out or them getting over emotional, and then me kind of taking over, or someone on the team taking over and filtering the calls to you. Filtering them. So I remember us putting the house on the market, and Val, every single team meeting going, I'm open housing my house. And every team meeting, all of us going, you are not open housing your house. And us would put it to a vote on how many people would agree that Val is not going to open house her house. There was no one, and I'm very confident in saying this, there's no one that follows up as much as Val. Like, She will find a buyer. Whenever I have her on a listing with me, she will make sure she follows up with everyone. She will contact everyone until they literally buy the property or die. She will follow up. So her not having control of her own home was a very big deal.
It was.
She's like, let me call the agents. I can find out if I can get an offer. And I'm like, you're gonna get us sued. Leave the agents alone. We're calling them. It's gonna be fine. We're all on top of this. Your home's gonna sell. So again, she needed to sell before she bought.
Yes.
We finally sold the property. And then you went into straight panic mode again.
It was, I know, I went. I think when you go through that process, you understand. And even when Michelle, our colleague, she listed her property, said like, I was the first one saying, no, you're not doing an open house by yourself and you're not going to be on the listing. Because I went through that and I learned in the hard way. Because I remember even one guy when he called me and he said, I'm going to bring this number, like I'm going to tell him, like, what are you talking about? Right? I almost killed the deal, right? Because you get emotional. It is your house. Yes, you know everything about the house, but in meanwhile, you are so sensitive and you might say the wrong thing to the buyers. Not to the wrong thing that you're buying something, like you're hiding something.
No, it's more like if a buyer's like the agent, all the agents are there for is to filter through conversations. So if the buyer agent calls you and says, hey, would you consider this number? And you know you're not considering the number.
I know.
You're gonna tell them, and I don't know, Aaron's our video guy. I don't know if you can bleep this off, but like to f off. You're gonna say, that's not the number. I know the value of the home. This is why my home is better.
Exactly.
The home is XYZ. Like you are going to go to bat for your home. And it's an emotional sale. It is your property. You know why it's so amazing. That's why you're gonna get very emotional. However, the agent's job is to literally be like, put it on paper.
Exactly.
Put the offer on paper and let's see if we can bridge the gap. Your number, we know we're not gonna take. We won't tell you that. Put it on paper. We will write down a counter and then we will keep going back and forth until we can get an offer. Having someone there that automatically just declines the offer is a bad move. Like it is. So it's hard to not show your cards if you are the agent and the seller. And that's why it doesn't work very easily if you are both.
Yes, correct.
So Val went ahead, we sold her house, great news. Now she's like, I'm on a mission, I need to buy a house. I was like, okay, we have so much time. We gave her the longest closing known to man. We have so much runway to get you a house. I'm in Argentina at the time. Val has told, and she does this for her clients too, which is the most admirable thing. Not one agent in the GTA, not even the city, in the GTA didn't know that Val was looking for a house in Victoria Village. Not one agent. Val would call me every day being like, call everyone you know and ask them about a house in Victoria Village. I would call them. They'd be like, Val already called us asking about a house in Victoria Village. Everybody in all of the GTA knew. We would go for coffee. I would bump into an agent. Do you have a house in Victoria Village? We would go. She's like, this is the pocket I want to live in. This is the only pocket I want to be in. I need to buy a house here.
Before that, like before Victoria Village, because I used to live in that area, so I knew that area very well. And it is proximity to everything, at least from my needs, right? And I was looking in Easter, like I was open, but I was open to that area, like even Parkview Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the 5th offer that it was accepted, right? Remember? Because we put like so many properties.
And also, you got to remember, Val bought in a market that was somewhat deteriorating. Like the market was getting worse and worse. So you had the luxury of being able to, I don't want to say lowball everyone, but you were throwing offers left, right, and center and being like, you should take it. To everyone. You should take it, you should take it, you should take it, you should take it. Finally, we hit a house and she goes, Elena, I'm buying this house. I'm not even in the country at the moment. She's like, I was on the chairman's trip with Real Page. I'm not even in the country. She calls me. She's like, I don't care what you need to do. You need to get me this house. I'm like, okay, Val, we're getting you this house. She's like, this is how much I'm paying. That's it.
I know. I'd say like, I'm not going. And the thing is because I had a budget. Like every buyers have a budget, right? So we have to work through that budget. And the market that you mentioned like was going downhill. So I was trying to strike a deal. Like even I remember a property, putting an offer on it, and it was a low ball.
Now she admits it.
Yeah, it was. And he's telling me, do not ever bring an offer. But guess what? That house, when I put an offer, it was in March. So that house sold in my price in August.
Yeah.
Which means the seller wasn't ready at the time. But I was trying to strike it. I was trying to get into the area, right? And as I mentioned, it wasn't the first offer that we put there. It was like the fourth or the fifth house. Like even for us agents, sometimes it's hard to get the property.
But you also have to remember, it's budget forward. So she wanted to get into an area where you would have been in the entry-level price point for that pocket. Like the houses there sell for much more, but you also wanted an opportunity. You were like, I'm not afraid of a renovation. I just want a good deal. So we were putting in offers, not necessarily for us to be like, we want it at the highest price. This is emotional. No, it is an opportunity market. What can you buy that is a good deal that you could improve and then later on in the future be in a better financial position? So you buy the house in Victoria Village. Now you're going to start renos.
Yeah, we're doing some renos. Or I'm buying. I don't know. I'm still...
When she gets something stuck in her head, she's doing it. Remember that. That is Val. She calls me the other day. She goes, I'm buying a property. I don't care what you say. I'm buying another. I'm like... But I thought we were doing renos.
This morning to the team.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm buying a property.
Yeah. Every single time. So like the benefit of working with an agent like Val is the fact that she has been in different markets across the city. She came to Canada, not from here. She does speak a bunch of languages though. So if you ever need translation, like she speaks every language. A country not from here, came to Toronto, figured out a way to get into the market, bought a property, maybe it wasn't in the Toronto core, but she bought a property in Whitby and then transferred herself into Toronto when she could afford to do so and when her family lifestyle allowed her to do so. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. You could be in Durham, you could be in Toronto, you could be anywhere. But the fact that she was like, where can I afford to buy? Where does it make the most amount of sense for me? And that's where she went. And then she traded her way into a neighborhood that was easier for her commuting ability later on in life. So it's not a bad thing just because you're going further outside of your pocket that you'd like to be in, get your foot in the door. Because the first property is the hardest one. After that, it's easy.
Yes. And I have a client, like he wants a specific area, but his budget is not there. So I keep telling him, listen, I did it 2018. Your budget is not there to get in that specific area. Buy outside of Toronto, get some equity, and then you're going to trade in. Like the same thing I did, right? And another thing is because my kids were little. I know that everyone is in a different stage of their life or in a different situation. Every situation is different. But his kids are small, so he can definitely do that move.
Yeah. I think the part people also forget is that your kids don't go to school until 3. So people start thinking about, oh, I need to be in a very good school district. I need to be in a very good school district once they're pregnant or once they're thinking about having kids. But odds are you will move again.
Exactly. So this is where I'm saying to my client, your first home is not your forever home. Your first home is just to get into the market. And now it's a beautiful market. Like I'm thinking to stop the construction in my house because I want to buy. I know. I can when I see all this listing and my friends.
No, she sees opportunity in the market. That's what
I know.
she's seeing.
And I keep saying to my friends, and sometimes they tell me, Valbona, you are so pushy. I'm not pushy. I'm showing you the right direction. Buy your property in this market.
She's a little pushy. But you know what? She does it out of love. Val never pushes if she doesn't love it. Like, if she thinks it's the right move, it's the right move. She's thought about it.
I know, because here's the thing. They have to trust their agents. We do the comparables. We check the market. We check the area. Like, my previous client last year, a property just came in a beautiful area. So it was marked for an offer night, but they were open to preemptive offer. So I said, guys, we have to put an offer now, not tomorrow. Say, no, we'll wait. Next day, they received 3 offers and we're selling over asking, right? But if it would be the first offer, because the house just came on the market. So I said, we need to put an offer right now because this house will sell. Because what we do, like, we're going to pull all the comps. We're going to do all the
market analysis.
The market analysis, right? So we'll see how much they sell for, and we know. So this is where I keep telling to my clients, like, just trust your agent.
It's different when we're in this market full time, every day, all day, and different when you do this casually. Like, this is our job. All we do all day is look at properties and analyze the market and hope we find the most amazing property for our clients. That's it.
We are on call 24/7. Like you sent me a lead the other day, so I'm calling them, and she said, "Oh my guys, you guys are good." I said, "Yes, we're like better than the plumbers. You come the phone 24/7, like we're there."
No, but listen, if you look at our earlier episodes, you'll see we were chatting about it with another team member. The action, like the rule of thumb is respond right away. Like that is the rule. If someone inquires about a property, that is the rule, respond right away.
But it's on the other hand, I call it like, it's respect too, right? Because I'm glad that they're coming through our listing, right? And I'm glad they like our listing. So we have to call them. And that's what we're there for.
Once again, this is Elena Saradidis, and today I had Val on. This is Property Play. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.